Charcoal, a dark gray residue consisting of carbon and ash, is an excellent domestic fuel, usually gotten from hardwood species or any organic material. According to the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, over 40 million metric tons of charcoal are consumed globally, and approximately 2.4 billion people rely on wood and charcoal for their daily fuel. Currently, Nigeria ranks second to Brazil in the production of charcoal because the Western countries prefer Nigeria's charcoal as the country is rich in tropical hardwood, which burns slower and is hotter. Consequently, Nigeria exports 380,000 metric tons of charcoal annually. This development has dire implications for the environment, as environmental experts speak on dangers of cutting wood for charcoal production.
In recent time, we've discovered that there's a sharp rise in charcoal usage, and that is causing a lot of environmental issues. If you understand the process of charcoal production, you'll discover that it is extracted from mature woods, and the process is not selective, but when you look at the woods that are matured from which charcoal is derived or produced, it takes then a minimum of 7 to 10 years for a wood to get to that size. And so when you cut down a wood to produce charcoal, you have created an environmental unfriendly condition within that space. Let me quickly tell you that the forests or trees have a lot of impact on recycling the greenhouse gases within the environment. And they're taking carbon dioxide, they're taking carbon monoxide and other dangerous greenhouse gases, then filter them, refine them, and then produce oxygen, which is needed by humans and other living organisms to survive. So in the natural cycle, it recycles the dangerous gases. So now when you cut down the tree, you are now providing a situation whereby the natural filters provided are no longer there. And so the amount of dangerous greenhouse gases in the atmosphere will be much more than what would have been if the tree is there. Now, they cut down the trees and then try to carbonize it. That is, they burn down the tree in the absence of oxygen so that they can have the charcoal. And that process, also adds to the environmental effect because it also produces fumes, and those fumes are carbon dioxide. They are part of the greenhouse gases that contributes to make the environment unfriendly. Now, after doing that, they will have to break it into particles or pieces in different shape as the case may be, and then package it and then transport it to wherever it's needed for industrial purpose or for domestic purpose. Most of the cookings around within us now are being done by charcoal, and that is, as I said, is contributing to the amount of emission of greenhouse gases within our environment, within the atmosphere, contributing to climate change or global warming.
However, many Nigerian women and young people in Benue have discovered that charcoal is a viable area of investment due to the high cost of gas and other alternative sources of energy.
You see that this one is very cheaper more than gas. That is why they are patronizing it. When they mix it, they used to mix it anyhow sometimes. If you have a good customer, the customer will mix the charcoal. It will be very nice from up to down. But the one that did not mix well, when they bring it, if you finish to tie it, you will be struggling with your capital. We have the one they called white wood and iron wood. So when you get ironwood, your money will be out and you will have your gain. But once they mix it, it's your money that will be your capital you'll be struggling with it to be out. That is the challenges we are facing. Like the ones I tie now, I am struggling with my capital. They just mix it, small ones full inside. And if it's not big enough, customers will complain that your charcoal is too small. On my own, I used to put it in enough quantity so that they will carry it. The white wood, put it on the fire. When the fire is on, small time, you will start seeing the ashes on it. And that ashes used to block fire. When you put like rice on the fire, the rice, instead of the rice to be boiling out, it will be going down. You will not see fire, which means what you put on the fire have spoiled. But when you use ironwood, even if it's small quantity you put on your stove, the thing will be very, very nice. Everything you put will be okay for you.
Briquettes is just a word that is used to describe the biofuel that is produced from agriculture or plant residues. And so if you look even where we are standing, there's a lot of fallen leaves and around. These can be harnessed to produce an alternative source of energy that can replace falling down mature trees, which are highly needed in our environment. Now, if you move to our saw industries, there are a lot of sawdust that are piled, unattended to. In fact, they themselves, they are also constituting another hazard. Then if you move around to our rice mills within, you will see that a lot of heaps of rice husk, the shell that are dumped within the rice mills. And these can be effectively harnessed to produce briquettes that are used to generate energy for domestic use and industrial use. When you are comparing the two, charcoal and briquettes, you'll discover that charcoal, based on the fact that it's more destructive to the environment, it also contributes in high quantity the emission of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And then its burn is not consistent. When you are using or cooking with charcoal and then briquettes made from residues or from sawdust or from rice husk, you discover that the frame are not the same. In charcoal, you can have unreliable frames. At times it will be high, at times it will be low, even though it's hotter. When it comes to hotness, it's hotter. But the briquettes gives you consistent degree of hotness and it burns longer. And so it's more environmental friendly. And that is one way that I would advise households to look into. When you peel your yam, when you peel your cassava, when you have the leaves falling, when you go around the rice mills and see the rice husk, when you see the sawdust, you can harness that. And the process of making it is very simple. You just need to understand the process and you get through. And it's more environmental friendly and cost effective.
Inspired by the need to provide a viable source of income and pass knowledge to the younger generation, Mr. Godfrey Awai began producing briquettes.
The idea of this briquette making that you have come to see, which I showed to my son and I told him to carry it out, was actually brought to me by one old permanent secretary, the late Christopher Hua. He brought 5 pieces of briquettes from United States when he went for treatment and gave it to me. And he said, Mr. Awai, how can we use this? How can we produce this? I picked it there, I saw them using it, and it was so nice, but I don't know how we can produce it here locally. So I collected it. That was in about 2003. So I collected it, looked at it. It was very difficult to find out actually what were the raw materials. But then I broke it. When I broke it, I now saw that it was actually charred wood. So I started thinking about how to produce it, particularly the machine that could compress it and so on. And eventually, I got the idea, and I produced some samples together with Tafa. He has been working along, and then I told him, if you can use this on a large scale, it will actually be helpful for you. Instead of looking for a job, you can use this to earn a living. And also, it will help in cleaning up the environment, since we use on anything waste that is of agricultural, in fact, or plant origin, you can use it to make briquettes. That is how I got the idea to him.
Major idea was transferred from my dad. My dad gave me the major idea for the product, and has been the major source guiding the process to the point where we are today. Okay, today we are at the point where we make briquettes. This is our briquette production unit. At this point, we turn agricultural waste, we turn sawdust, leaves, dry leaves, rice husks into charcoal, which we use for cooking as well. So this is a process of charring, where we're able to char the material, the residue from wood shavings. That's wood shavings from the wood industry. So this is to char and make it readily available so that we can make use of it in the process of making briquettes. So this is the first level of it. So by now, we know that at this point, the charring level has reached this level. So we'll watch down to the last one. So once we're able to find it here, we know that we've approached the final time. So with this, you can know timing to stop charring. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to char wood shavings, but it depends on the particular agricultural waste we are using. Leaves or lighter waste takes lesser time, while heavier ones take longer time to char. This is where we mold our briquettes, and this is our molding machine. This was locally fabricated, and we use it to mold the briquettes. At each time of molding, we mold about 12 pallets of the briquettes at each process. This is our crusher, like our grinder, though it's my mother's grinding machine. I had no option but to take it from her. So we use it to blend. After we finish charring, we char to have fine texture so that we can be able to mold. So in the process of molding our briquettes, we make a mixture of our binder, a binder which we get from any starchy substance, but usually our main binder we get from waste from when we process our gari. We mix it with what we've charred and we've blended. After mixing, we'll take it to the molder. which will mold each pallet. So after all these have been prepared, it takes about 5 minutes to do 12 pellets. But since our molder is of a smaller size, we hope to expand and get a bigger molder that can mold about 50 pellets per time, so that it will reduce the time of processing. And after this, we'll pass it through the compressing machine where we'll compress. This is ready to mold. At this point, we'll feed. So this makes about 12 briquettes at a time. So once you feed and you compress, you'll be able to get 12 at a time. So take this for drying.
In line with Section 1.5 of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code, which states that any person or group has a right to complain about any broadcast content or conduct of broadcaster, we, by this announcement, appeal to you to feel free to send your complaints about our conduct if you have any. You can lodge such complaints to info@benuetv.be.gov.ng or visit our head office at Special Duties Wing, Government House, Makadi, Benue State. Please, to state your problem clearly and kindly specify how you want us to resolve your complaint. Remember to state your name and contact details. Benue Television is poised to serve you well. Benue Television, a new dimension in broadcasting.
Looking at the situation where we have in the country right now, there are a number of forests depleting each day due to demand for cooking gas at local level. So we source it and we thought it wise to be able to bring an alternative source which is eco-friendly that can stand in and help reduce deforestation and create a safer environment. That's where we decided and went in to start the production of briquettes, which we make from the waste, so that as we take out waste from the environment, we are able to give out a product that can be used in the same community. Collecting waste, it's a big challenge because we need a vehicle to pick. Like you can see my vehicle, which I usually use, is down now. So you need to pick raw materials from that point. And then the machines or what is needed to char is also a challenge. Like I said, we need an expansion, like a better machine where we can do more pellets at a time, that we can reduce time of production and have quality pellets.
The problem is that to scale it up requires assistance, because since I retired, gratuities have not been paid, pension has not been paid, so it is difficult to even assist him financially. But if some other agencies, government and maybe other organizations, if they can invest in this kind of thing, it will help him to scale up and actually earn a good living.
What we actually need is finance, one for expansion. I would actually love to move to a better side, because working at home, it's a bit distracting. I get to obstruct a lot of things happening in the house already. So I would like to go to a permanent site where we can set up and we know that it's a factory and it's strictly factory work. And at the same time, we'll need a mobility that can help us transfer waste from wherever we gather to our production units. Currently, the demand for cooking gas is high. And if you are able to make production of briquettes to a larger quantity, the market is there already. We all know how much a bag of charcoal costs a day. It's about 4,000 naira. Just a pack of my briquettes, I sell just a pack for 500 naira, the small pack, and 1,000 naira, the bigger pack. And the demand for it is very high. There's market for it. It is such that you can sell at every point of your production because there is already market for it. Market in the sense that it is used in churches for burning of incense. So if you can count how many there are over 2,300 Catholic churches in Nigeria. So imagine you are responsible for sending in the charcoal for each Sunday at each Sunday for burning of incense. Then you know, then for grill centers, other homes and other demands, there is a large market that if any young person is interested to go into, you can as well meet the market and make more money for yourself.
Nigeria's economy is just starting. It's a young economy, and there are in fact, regulations are so few compared to other countries. In developed countries, if you want to do anything, there are lots of regulations you have to go through. But here, there are very few regulations. So if you can start something, find out ideas from maybe friends, internet, and so on. Today, luckily, the internet is there to help you. And if you use it, young people will have a lot to do that they will earn a living instead of hoping to get a white-collar job.
Majorly, it is such that it burns 2 times slower than the usual charcoal, and it has an intense heat, so it lasts longer while burning. And then secondly, it is smokeless, so it's something that you can be used indoor, and it can stay, and there'll be little or no smoke within your environment. And then lastly, it's an eco-friendly product, such that we are no longer cutting down trees to make it. We are using it from the agricultural waste which we have to make this. So we are at the same time cutting down and the burning of trees, and then we are making a friendly environment.
I think I'm looking forward to see a very strong legislation that will address the massive deforestation that is taking place, especially in Benue State as a result of charcoal production. Because if nothing is done, then we're leaving the generation yet unborn in a very dangerous situation, whereby they will lack basic things that they need for their sustenance.
When you think investment in Benue, think Brookett.